Hey, how's it going? It is Haley of Moth Cosplay, and we did it, Reddit. The Zorah armor is done. I'm so excited. We went out yesterday, me and Kenny of the Nerdy Monkey, and did some photos out at Thatcher Park, which is local to the Albany area of New York, and it was amazing. Like, it's so cool. That's not the point anymore. So let's go back into the exciting thing though, because I kind of like glossed over it, which is that my Zorah Magdaros armor is done. Done, like completely and finally and totally, well, I mean 99% done. The armor itself is completely finished. I do want to go and fix my slinger. I'm just not happy with the proportions of the slinger, especially the little horns that come off the sides. I really need to go ahead and figure out something else to do with those and fix that up. On top of that, the movement is just, everything moves too easily. I'll grab it really quick to show you guys what exactly I mean. So yeah, you can probably just tell right off the bat, like these little side horns, like they're cute and they're petite, but they're too petite for what I need. And then you can probably tell right now, like, so that little bit of movement isn't a big deal, but when I move this down, these guys just move too much. But this guy over here just wants to do his own thing and like flop around and live his best floppy life, which I totally respect, but also like, come on dude, that's not what I made you for. So we're gonna fix that, because it was a distraction while taking photos, and I ended up taking this off about 10 minutes into the photo shoot. Because I was like, all you're doing is pissing me off and you're not adding anything to my costume right now. Goodbye. Aside from that though, I am really happy with my slinger. Like, he looks really cool. I'm also super duper proud of my Scoutfly cage. I really shouldn't be, because I didn't exactly do a whole lot to make it. But still, I really like the way it turned out. So this is my little Scoutfly cage. Once again, I know this is not the proper Scoutfly cage that goes with the armor, but it's the one that I really, really love. I just think it's cuter than the other one, which probably sounds really dumb. And he does light up. I'll talk about the lights later in the video, but this guy is just, I'm really happy with him. I talked about this a little bit in a previous video. The cage and the plate down here were 3D printed for me by my local library. I brought the pattern off of Etsy and sent it over to them, and they were so wonderful and did that. I originally thought about getting the holder 3D printed, but what's the point? It's just gonna take hours, and it's literally just a circle with a ring. So I made it out of foam. I didn't even bother plastic dipping it or anything. And within here contains the LEDs. There is some diffusing material, and for the green, I went ahead and just used green binder dividers, like that sort of transparent. And it really, really just gives it a nice sort of look. Yeah, I really like that. And because he's removable, I can use this on any other Monster Hunter cosplays that I do, which is super exciting. I finished up sewing all of the scales, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but I figured that's kind of implied when I said that I finished the whole build. But here are the sleeves, and I love them so much. I love my purple little pineapples. There is so much Velcro holding this costume together, by the way. It's held together by like Velcro and hopes and dreams. So this Velcro hooks onto the tabard at the shoulder right here, and then these pieces of Velcro hold on the pauldrons. Really, really, really simple, and it's super comfortable, and these are lighter than I thought. Oh, speaking of scales, I did end up going and doing more detailing on the scales. As you guys can probably see, they are not quite as flat looking. And to help everything really pop, I went in with my airbrush and gave an ombre to every single scale. So that's that, and that's super cool. And speaking of pauldrons, I can go ahead and grab those and then talk to you guys about my shitty little light job. Why not? So as I said, the pauldrons are held on with Velcro, as you can see here, and then once again we have the return of fairy lights. I mentioned last week in my vlog, I fried my Arduino. My own fault. And I mentioned fairy lights. Well, to show you exactly how they look, there you go. These are really, really nice, honestly. I'm very happy with how they've come out. There you go, so you can kind of see. So what I did with the lights is, there is the resin gem. I put the light down, I laid a red holographic foil behind the lights, and then I, for the most part, overlaid craft foam. And the craft foam helps to keep everything in place. I used contact cement when putting it down, and it just helps hiding the wires. One of my big fears is that I'm going to like be putting it on and the wire will catch on a scale and like rip out. So I really just wanted to try and avoid that as much as possible. And this goes for pretty much every single armor piece. Yeah, I don't really know what else to discuss. I finished up the scale tabard, obviously, and I also finished, there's like a harness strapping thing that goes on. I'll actually just kind of put it on so I can show you. That'd probably be the easiest. And then on top of the tabard goes a harness. which was super duper simple. It's all just like vinyl strips, but this I just put my arms through, then slip it over my head. It's kind of hard for me to really see what's going on. I do have a sort of a feel for this now. I've like put it on and taken it off so many times, but without having to really put it in place, you can see it like hooks under and over and it crosses in the back and it looks super cool, and it has Velcro at the top here to attach the neck plate to. Right here. Just goes over, and then the Velcro on the inside of the neck plate will just boop, 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 goes, and it just helps hold everything in place. This guy does like to move around a lot, especially as I'm moving my arms, so having that in place really, really helps keep everything where it's supposed to be. I don't know, I'm trying to think if there's literally anything else to talk about. I am a little disappointed in one thing with this whole build, which is that the spray paint that I got that specifically says it bonds to plastic does not bond well to the scales. And I already have scales that I need to go ahead and start repainting because the paint's worn off. And that's frustrating. There's no way really around it. They don't offer Featherlight in black. Thought about getting like black resin mix, resin dye, whatever you want to call it, to mix in with everything. But I just wasn't really sure because a lot of that's for other casting agents and I didn't really see anything about it being used with Featherlight on their website. And I didn't want to waste money on either Featherlight that I'm wasting or the colorant agent. So I decided just fuck it, I'll go with white. And I don't know. I don't know. I think also in the future, if I were to do this, I might even just give all the scales like a layer of Plastidip before paint. Plastidip bonds to fucking anything, I swear to God. Anyway, I guess this really wraps up this week's vlog. I feel like it's a little awkward because aside from finishing my Zorah armor, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. I've been working on getting stuff ready for my patrons and cleaning my house, and we're getting ready to move soon, and cosplay just hasn't really been the focus. So I am really sorry that I don't have a lot to update there. Next week I should be talking about Morrigan. I'm starting to build her and really get into that, so that'll be exciting. I'm hoping to have the leggings and the ear things and maybe even a large chunk of the wings done, but who fucking knows, like I said. But anyway, massive, massive, massive shout out to all my patrons, but especially Nicole, CJ Rose Cosplay, Robin, and Things Chuggeth Loud now. You're all wonderful, and I hope that I will see you guys next week. If I don't see you next week, maybe I will see you at a convention, maybe the Capital Region Games Expo, which I'll be a guest at, which is July 13th in the Albany area. So definitely go and check that out, and I will definitely be wearing my Zorah Magdaros armor, which I've been told looks cooler in person. So there you go. Have a wonderful week. I will talk to you guys later.